Alright, hi friends, today we are going to be talking about shape attributes, quadrilaterals. We just finished Unit 4 and you guys were rock stars with it. You did great. So we're going to go ahead and jump to Unit 5, Day 1. We're going to be discussing the category of quadrilaterals and shapes. And we are going to learn about two shapes in particular today. The first shape we're going to learn about is rectangles. And we are also going to learn about squares and why they are considered quadrilaterals. You guys already took your little pretest to see what you had up here in your schema about prior knowledge, so we're going to jump right to our lesson. We're going to first talk about rectangles and why rectangles are considered a quadrilateral. Now, there are two things that help us identify what a rectangle is. The first thing is that it has two long lines and two short lines. These lines are the exact same length. They are also parallel. To remember what parallel is, it's like a train track. A train track has two lines, one on top of the other. Parallel means that there's two lines right on top of each other. So you have one right here and one right here. We're going to go ahead and mark these parallel lines with a star and these parallel lines with a fun squiggly mark so that we can remember which are parallel lines. Now, the other thing about rectangles is that every single corner or angle is 90 degrees. And those are two things to remember about rectangles. Two long parallel lines, two short parallel lines, and four right angles. Now we're going to move on to squares. A square has four lines. They're parallel, but they're all the same length. That's the big difference you need to remember between rectangles and squares. All of the lines on a square are the same length. They're also all parallel. Remember, over here, you have two parallel lines of long lines and two parallel lines of short lines. Over here, you have two sets of parallel lines that are all the same length. Squares also have 90-degree right angles, just like a rectangle. Now, go ahead and pull out your whiteboards. You should already have them with you because we got those at the beginning of our class. Before we move on to practicing it by ourselves, we are going to discuss
quadrilaterals. Quadrilaterals are four-sided shapes. Now, you probably know there are a lot of four-sided shapes that can be considered quadrilaterals. We will discuss those coming up in this unit. But today, we need to remember that squares and rectangles, which are four-sided shapes, are considered quadrilaterals. Alright, now, moving on.
You need to find a shoulder partner. So make eyes with your shoulder partner and give me a thumbs up when you are ready. Alright, so let's move on. You have your whiteboards. We're going to first draw rectangles together, okay? So everyone draw a rectangle, two long lines and two short lines. All right, check with your shoulder partner to see if they think that you are right. Once you've done so, give me a 2 thumbs up. Great. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at some attributes of your rectangle. Does your rectangle have right angles? If it does, good. Does it have two short lines that are parallel? Good. Does it have two long lines that are parallel? All right, you guys did awesome. So remember, we have four right angles, two long parallel lines, and two short parallel lines for our rectangle. All right, you can go ahead and erase that on your whiteboard, and we're going to move on to squares. All right, so you guys draw a square and check with your shoulder partner to see if you guys have the same thing. All right, if you've got the same thing, we're going to go ahead and check if we have 4 parallel lines that are the same length. 2 thumbs up. All right, great. And 4 right triangles. Awesome. Okay. You guys can erase your boards, and we are going to move on to our practice sheet. And remember that these shapes are quadrilaterals.